pollen in the eye. Can you get them out?
Well, hang on.
Which one?
I was digging on this one. I know we're going to probably
I'll take both.
Oh, is it two? You have two.
There's one.
Oh, sorry.
Clay in there.
How long does that clay hold moisture?
It'll hold for quite a while. You can see, there's moisture down in there. It's a pain, in the spring, trying to plant. Doesn't like to dry out, but this time of year, when we don't have rain for 10 days, it's good. Our roots can grow through this.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I think this is a corn root worm. Clay ball. It's tough to imagine it looks as good as it does. You see that?
So something to think about. Everybody gets excited when they see long roots, okay? And I get excited too, right? We like seeing roots that go down and penetrate the soil and go down and start looking for moisture, right? Because plants drink their nutrients. So the thing about this is you got to make sure that plants have root hairs, right? That's the more important thing. As you can see this, there is a lot of root hairs that are set on this. So I don't just visually see this, right? I look a little deeper and you want to see these little fine root hairs. And that's what goes out and mines that soil. And it exudes ammonium acetate, and that's what mines and scrubs the soil and puts nutrients in available form to get taken up. There's a vitamin tip that grab hold of nutrients and start the mobilization inside of a plant. There's 4 of them, but it's some of the technologies that you ran in your starter fertilizer have with the upward piece has some supporting vitamins for that process. Okay. And when you increase nutrient mobilization inside of a plant, you will increase the plant's capacity to set roots and set shoots, right? It's not a PGR. It's not doing it like a PGR where it tells a plant to spend its energy on it. What it does is increase the metabolism of nutrients inside of a plant, and it forces that plant to be more efficient, and you'll cast a bigger net quicker.
Okay.
Not on corn.
Oh,
you wouldn't see that on corn.
That's right.
Just on soybeans. Okay. Did you run Proven? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the nodal root system, right? The first root system that a corn plant lives off of is the Seminole root system. That's that little radical that comes out of the seed. So all the way through V5, the plant's going to live off the nutrients and energy held in that seed, which will last 5 to 11 days, depending on the nutrient, plus whatever gets out of the Seminole root system while it's establishing this nodal primary root system. So once it hits V6, the growing point comes out of the ground, and then it switches to this root system, the Seminole root system, and the seed is done. And it's just come out of a time period between V3 and V5 when that plant is determining the number of kernels around, which is the most critical time in a young corn plant's life. But this root system, what I get excited about is what I see with the root hairs. Right? So when it does rain, it has an opportunity to drink nutrients. You also got really great stalk diameter. That is directly attributed, stalk diameter and leaf width is directly attributed to potassium uptake. With the upward piece, that's influencing the K uptake. And I see a lot of that too. That's an awesome stalk diameter.
Girthy. Just need girthy ears now.
After pollination, they had severe tip back. And so I started asking them questions. I'm like, guys, were you excessively cloudy for a period of time? And they're like, yeah, we had 11 days straight excessive clouds, like cloud cover. And that's proven to cause tip back. So you can do everything right, and Mother Nature came in and caused stress on that plant and took that yield opportunity away from that plant. Where we had the onward max, filled it to the end. So it helped it metabolize through that stress.
Multiple PGRs and onward max?
Well, you got to make sure you got the right PGRs, right? So an onward max is specifically for late season plant health reproduction, plant health. So when you think about IBA, kynotin, gib acid combinations, those are all early season. IBA tells a plant to spend its energy on roots and shoots. Kynotin can go all season long. It serves different functions as a young plant versus as an older plant. That gib acid is all about emergence, right? Getting that plant established. If you use gib acid at this application, you will turn these ears into beer bottles. They'll look just like a beer bottle. So you'll have a neck at the end, it's just going to be cob. So you don't want to do that. This one in Onward Max, it is kynotin, which is common for all season long. What it does, like in a corn crop, it helps with pollen viability. On your soybeans, it'll help for pod retention, is what it'll do on soybeans. And then the other two components that are in it is choline chloride, which is not a colloid molecule like you're normally thinking of. It's not a salt. It's actually a vitamin complex that is a hormone that works on photosynthesis, that tells this plant to keep photosynthesizing and trucking nutrients. And then it has GABA, which is gamma aminobutyric acid. So that works on this translocating nutrient source to sink, pulling out of these leaves and out of the stalk and into that ear. If you got any children? Assume you had children. Would you take your child to a doctor that says, well, I got this thing. It's pretty close. It's not exactly what the ratios are supposed to be for your child. You know, these are biological living plants.
Yeah.
Right? No different than a human child. So they have specific needs and ratios of hormones that need to be inside these plants. So when we developed the original Onward product, we hit those ratios. I mean, we looked at dozens and dozens of different combinations, and we came up with the one that is now an Onward Max.
Okay.
So an Onward Max is nothing more than a 2x concentration of Onward.
Okay.
But I tell people that because a lot of people don't think about ratios. They think, well, it's in there, it's got to be just as good, right? That's not the case.